Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be making this top slash dress slash beach cover up. Now, I made it a little bit small, or maybe when I hurt my back I put on a few pounds, I'm not sure, but I'm going to call this somewhere between a small and a medium actually. Alright, so what we do is you have to measure the largest part of your body, or whoever you're making it for, and then we start at the bottom and we make a chain, and it's in multiples of 5, and we're going to be working in the round. So make sure you add a few stitches onto it, onto your chain, so that it will fit. And then we're going to work our way up, and then we work to right below this skull face. I just have a piece of paper in there to show you. And the video is kind of long, and it's long because of this, demonstrating and talking about how to make this skull face. So after that, we do a couple of rows of the normal stitching, and then we make, I did a single crochet around the top of the top, and then I just did a little border around the bottom to clean it up. It's just some shell stitching. I show that in the video and everything. And then I made the straps, and I show you that, of course, and how to center the skull. I'm sure there was something else I wanted to say, but yeah, I show everything in the video, and I hope you enjoy. Thank you so much. For this tutorial, I used Lion Brand Kobu yarn. Comes in a 100-gram ball, 232 yards. It's 51% cotton, 49% rayon from bamboo. It's a lightweight 3. This shade is called Steel Blue. And this is what I had left out of my second ball. And I used a 4.5 millimeter hook. And for this purple one, I used Azalea from Hobie. And this is 52% cotton, 48% acrylic. There's 200 grams in here, 874 yards. It's a 2 fine. And the color is number 08. There's blacks in here and different shades of purple. I actually color controlled, so I did not use a whole ball. So if you're making a small to medium top, you'll definitely won't need an entire ball. So I had actually took some of the purples out of here, because there were purple mixed with black, and then it went to straight black, and I didn't want black for the straps. I wanted the purple and black. So yeah, so I took apart a couple of balls trying to find the right shades that I wanted, and it starts off with a lot of the light pink, so that's why I got into the second ball. You see it changes color. It's very pretty yarn. I really like it a lot. So, and I used a 4.5 millimeter hook for this one too. I'm going to make a chain of 110, which is multiples of 5. So let's do our chain. Okay, I'll meet you at the end of the chain. Now when you're finished your chain, lay it out in front of you, make sure it's straight. And we're going to go into that first stitch to close it off into a round. So, oops, I'm so sorry. And then pull your yarn through. All right, so now we are going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and that's going to count as a double crochet. Then we're going into the next stitch, make a double crochet, go in the next chain, I should say, and make a double crochet. So after you're done those first 3 double crochets, chain 2, and then skip 2 chains, 1, 2, go in the next one with a double crochet. Oops, sorry, things are moving around. Then you go into the next chain with a double crochet. And then go into the next chain with a double crochet. Chain 2, skip 2 chains, 1, 2, go in the next one with a double crochet. And this is our pattern. Double crochet, go in the next one with a double crochet. Go in the next stitch with a double crochet, chain 2, skip 2, 1, 2, and then go in the next double crochet, and then the next one and the next one. And this is how this round is going to be. See, this yarn splits. Yes, it does. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like. So I'll meet you at the end of this round. When you get to the end of your round, make sure you chain 2 right here, and you'll have 2 stitches to skip, and then you're going to put a slip stitch right into the top of that chain 3 that you started with that counts as a double crochet. And then we're going to slip stitch through the top of this double crochet and this double crochet, because we're working our way over to that chain 2. All right, so just slip stitch over. When you get to the chain 2, slip stitch in that one as well. And then chain 3, that counts as a double crochet, and then put 2 more double crochets in that chain 2 space. Okay, then chain 2, and we're going to put 2 double crochets in the next chain 2 space, 3 double crochets, and that's how it's going to go for this round and every round up until we get to the skull, and then I'll show you how to make the skull. Okay, chain 2, go past those 3 double crochets into that chain 2 space with 3 double crochets. So this is how it's going to look. So your 3 double crochets will be in between of the 3 double crochets from the previous row. So I'll meet you at the end of this row. Now we're at the end of round 2. So make sure you chain 2, and then you're going to put a slip stitch in the top of that chain 3, and then slip stitch in the top of each of these double crochets, and then slip stitch into the chain 2 space. So there's a chain 2 space, slip stitch, And then do like we did in the last row. We make 3 chains, which counts as a double crochet, and then we make 2 double crochets in that chain 2 space, and then chain 2, and then go into the next chain 2 space with 3 double crochets, and so on and so forth. And this is how your item is looking so far. Okay, now I've made 28 rows, and this is where I'm going to be starting the skull face. Okay, so do what you did before, where you... Sorry, I gotta adjust this so that I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so slip stitch all the way to that chain 2 opening. Chain 3. And put 2 double crochets in there like before. Okay, chain 2, and do this a few times before you start making the skull face. Okay, I think I'm going to do it about 5 or 6 times, and then I'm going to start the skull. Okay, now I've made 6 of those clusters. Now, instead of chaining 2 here, we're going to chain 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we're going to skip this cluster, skip the chain 2 space, skip this cluster, and then into this chain 2 space, we're going to make our 3 double crochets. Okay, then we're going to chain 2 and continue on making our 3 double crochets in the chain 2 spaces all the way around until we get to this one just before you made the chain 9. So this row I'm going to call row 1. All right, I'll meet you back here. Okay, now this is where we're at. This is round 2 now. We are going to chain 6 at this point. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now we're going to make 4 single crochets right around this chain 9. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have a visitor. Hi, Minnie. And then you're going to go past these 3 double crochets you made here, and you're going to make 3 double crochets into Minnie, into the chain 2 space from the previous round. Okay, right here. Oops, sorry, baby. I bumped your nose. Okay, and then chain 2, and then we're just going to continue on making the 3 double crochet clusters in all the chain 2 spaces, and then I will meet you back at, sorry baby, hit you I'll meet you back at just before this cluster of 3. You want some fresh food, baby? You want some fresh food? Come on. Come on. Now we're up to row 3. We put our cluster here just before this one. And now we're going to chain 6. I've already chained 2 after this cluster, so it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 all together. And then we're going to put double crochets into these single crochets. So we're going to do a double crochet in this first one and a chain 1. So do a double crochet in that first single crochet, chain 1, and then we're going to do a double crochet in the next single crochet, double crochet, chain 1, and we're going to do a double crochet in the next single crochet, double crochet, chain 1, then we're going to do a double crochet in this last single crochet, and then here we're going to chain 6 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're going to go on the other side of this first cluster here and make our 3 double crochets. One, 2, 3, and then we'll chain 2 and carry on around this row. So this is what it's going to look like. That's a chain 6, and then you're going to put a double crochet, chain 1 in that first single crochet, same thing in the second single crochet, same thing in the third single crochet. In this last single crochet we're going to make a double crochet and then chain 6, and then go over and make our cluster just on the other side of this. Okay, now work around this whole entire row, and I'll meet you back just before this cluster. Now on to row 4. I put my 3 double crochets right before this cluster. Now what we're going to do is we're going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're going to skip the first 4 chains in this chain 6 here. But what I like to do is I'm going to count back from over here. This is our double crochet. So I'm going to look, I'm going to find the first 2 chains here, and I'm going to put a single crochet in each of those. Right, so there's first single crochet, that next chain, put another crochet, single crochet, and now we're going to put a single crochet into this double crochet, and then we're going to put a single crochet in this chain one space that we made, and we're going to continue on like that. So put a single crochet in the double crochet, put a single crochet in the chain one space, single crochet in the double crochet, single crochet in the chain one space, single crochet in the double crochet. I was just checking my notes. And then we're going to put a single crochet in the next chain, and then put a single crochet in the next chain. Okay, so we should have a total of 11 single crochets. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Was I out of camera shot? I'll do that again. Okay. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, after that 11th single crochet, we're going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're going to put our 3 double crochets on the other side of this first cluster here. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to chain 2, and we're just going to continue on with our clusters all the way around again. Okay, so this is how it's looking right now. Okay, now we're on to row 5. So you've made your little cluster before this one, and now we're going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we're going to put a single crochet in the next 4 single crochets. Okay, and we go over here. This is our first single crochet. So put a single crochet in there, and in the next 3 for a total of 4. So single crochet, single crochet, single crochet. Now we're going to skip the next 3. Actually, first chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then skip the next 3 single crochets. Go into the next one with a single crochet, and then put a single crochet in the next 3. Okay, so that was a single crochet in the first 4, and then we did a chain of 5. We skipped 3, and then we put a single crochet in the next 4. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to turn our work. Turn your work around. Now we've turned our work around, And right from this point where we are, we're going to chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we're going to single crochet in that chain 5 that we made right here. Okay, we just do 1 single crochet there. Then we're going to chain 10 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oops. Nine, 10. And then into this very first stitch here, we're going to do a slip stitch in there. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like. Okay, slip stitched into there. And now we're going to turn our work back around. Okay, let me get organized here. Okay, now we've turned our work back around. There's our 2 chain 10s we did. So now we are going to put, we're going to put 8 single crochets around that first chain 10 we did. Okay, just go right around that chain 10. Make 8 single crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, now we go to the other chain 10 over here that we made, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do 8 single crochets right around that chain 10. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, this is what it looks like. And now we're going to slip stitch right down into right down here. Okay, a slip stitch. Now we're going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we're going to make our cluster on the other side of this cluster. And then we're going to continue around making our clusters like before. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, and just continue doing that, making your clusters all the way around, and I'll meet you at row 6. Okay, now on row 6, we're going to, once you're done your cluster here, you're going to chain 2, and then in this chain 6 from the previous row, you're going to make 3 double crochets in that chain, or around that chain 6. Okay, let's do our 3 double crochets. There's a white paw. Okay, that's 2. Three. Now we're going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're going to slip stitch on the top of the 16 single crochets we made in the last round. Okay, look for your first one. Minnie, don't chew the yarn. Okay, slip stitches. Into the 16 single crochets from the previous round. It's 1, 2, 3. Don't chew my yarn, baby. 4. So keep doing that. And each of the single crochets, 1 slip stitch. So when you're done your 16 slip stitches, you're going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you're going to make 3 double crochets in that chain 6 from the previous round. That's 1, 2, 3. Minnie, don't chew on the yarn. Hey, stop. And then you're going to chain 2. And then you're going to continue on with your 3 double crochets like before. Go all the way around this round with 3 double crochets in each space, chain 2, and just continue on, and I'll meet you at the end of this round. Now when you get to round 7, make sure you make your 3 double crochets in that chain 6 from the previous row. And then we're going to chain 6 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're going to be making single crochets in these slip stitches. But you want to do is skip the first 2 slip stitches, go into the next one with a single crochet, and do single crochet in 12 of these slip stitches in a row here. Sorry, this yarn splits. Not happy with the splitting. That's little Minnie. Hey, Minnie. Okay, let's see. Skip 2, go in the next with single crochet. Go in the next with a single crochet till you have 12. That's 2, 3, 4. And then when you get to the end of these 12 single crochets, you should have 2 slip stitches left, and just leave those untouched. Okay. Now when you're finished your 12 single crochets, you're going to chain 6. There'll be 2 slip stitches left. Don't touch those. Chain 6, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then in that chain 6 from the previous round, put your 3 double crochets in there. Oh, sorry. Oh, dear. sorry, I hit the camera. Sometimes that happens. Okay, there's just three double crochets in the chain 6. Now you chain 2 and you just go into the chain 2 spaces like before. Make 3 double crochets all the way around. Then I'll meet you back at the beginning of this round. Okay, and this is what it looks like. So we have the mouth, the teeth, we have the eyes. We're getting there. All right, so now on row 8, well, row 8 we're on now. In that chain 6 space from the previous round, put your 3 double crochets in there. Okay, and then we're going to chain 6. And then we are going to single crochet in 8 of these single crochets from the previous row. So let's see. You're going to skip the first 2 and then you're going to go into the next 8 and then you'll have 2 left over at the end, the other end as well. All right, so we'll skip these 2, go in the next one, single crochet, single crochet in 8 of those single crochets from the previous round. Okay, that's 8, and then you'll have 2 left over. Leave those ones where they are, don't touch them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I hope I wasn't out of camera shot. Okay, now we're going to chain 6. And then we're going to put 3 double crochets in this chain 6 from the previous row. And then we're going to chain 2 and put our 3 double crochets in the next chain 2 space and do that all around like before. So now row 9, we're going to put our 3 double crochets in that chain 6. Yeah, 3 double crochets. Then we're going to chain 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now we want to put a single crochet in each of 4 of these single crochets in the middle. So we'll skip 2, the first 2, then put a single crochet in the next 4, and then skip the last 2. Okay, skip that one, and then single crochet in the next 4. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then skip those last 2, and then chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're going to make our 3 double crochets in this chain 2 space from the previous row. One, two, three. Then we're going to chain 2, and we're going to continue around making our 3 double crochets in those chain 2 spaces. All right, I'll meet you at the end of this round. Now we're on row 10, so we need to put our 3 double crochets in this chain 2 space. One, two, three. Okay, and then we're going to chain 2. 1, 2, and then we're going to jump right over to this chain 6 on the other side. Oh, that's a horrible double crochet. Okay. So we're going to jump over this chain 6, and we're going to put our 3 double crochets right in there. One, two, three. Make sure you chain your 2 after. Okay, so this is how it's going to look. Now we're on the main stretch here for the skull part. All right, just continue making your 3 double crochet clusters all the way around. All right, now we're going to do one more round of the clusters, and then we're going to move on to a different part of the top. You just do them like you normally would. Do 3 double crochets in each chain 2 space. Chain 2 after you do either double crochets. And continue on and do this entire row. Now when you're finished your last row, leave your yarn attached, and when you slip stitched it into that first double crochet, chain 1 and then make a single crochet in each of those double crochets. We're just going to do a little border around the top and the bottom. Okay, so 1 in each of those double crochets, and then 2 single crochets around the chain 2s. And then continue on, single crochet in each of the double crochets, 2 single crochets around your chain 2. And do this around the top and the bottom. All right. And when you get to the end of your single crochet row, just put your hook into that first single crochet you made and make a slip stitch. And then you can cut off your end. I mean, yeah. Not cut it off, but cut your yarn. And then do the same thing around the bottom of your top. Now I finished my single crochets around the top and the bottom. So on the bottom now I'm going to leave the yarn attached, and I'm going to make little shell stitches just as a little border. So let's see. Just going to start right where I am. I'm going to chain 3, and then I'm going to make 4 double crochets in that same spot. chain 3 will count as a double crochet. So 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then I'm just going to skip 4 of these single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and go into the 5th one with 5 double crochets. And that's how I'm going to do it all the way around the bottom of this top. 3, 4, 5. Okay, and just skip 1, 2, 3, 4 single crochets, go in the 5th one with 5 double crochets. Do that all the way around and just slip stitch into the top of that chain 3 when you get to the end of your round. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like on the bottom. All right, continue doing that. And then the next thing we're going to do are the straps. Now, when you're finished your fans at the bottom, you will have 4 stitches left. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you just want to slip stitch right into the top of that first chain 3 that we made. And then cut your yarn off and sew it in later. Okay, so the next thing are the straps. I'll show you how to find the center of your top to put that skull in the center. Okay, let's do that. All right, this is how I calculated my straps. The center stitch is right above the skeleton heads, the skull face. So that's kind of obvious where that is. So then what I've done is I've just skipped 1 cluster, and then I've put a stitch marker at the beginning of this next cluster. So that's 1 cluster, 2 cluster, 3 cluster, and then I put a stitch marker at the end of that 3rd cluster. So this is where my front strap is going to go. I want to cover 3 clusters. And then I'm skipping 3 clusters under the arm. 1, 2, 3. And then I put a stitch marker in the first double crochet of the next cluster. And then I have a stitch marker in the last double crochet of the 3rd cluster here. And that'll be my back strap. Or that'll be where the strap connects to the back. And then I've skipped 1 cluster, and then I start again. This will be the back strap, or the strap where it connects to the back, and then skipping 3 for under my arm, and then doing the front of the strap in these 3, skipping 1 cluster, and then this is the center. So let me show you that again, where all my stitch markers are at. Oops, so sorry. Oh, so sorry. I keep bumping the camera. It's right in front of me. Okay, in front of my face. Okay, so there's the skull, and there's the center. So let's see if I can move this. So then my strap will get connected here, and then it'll get connected here at the back. Okay, and that leaves just 3 clusters under my arm. That might pull it a little tight for me under my arm, but we'll see. And I'm going to make the strap nice and nice and long so that there'll be enough space for my shoulder to go through and everything, you know, like, you know. And then I did the same on the other side. So the strap will connect there and then connect to the back over here. So yeah, just trying to even things out. You can lay your piece on top of a tank top that fits you nicely and calculate it that way. Yeah, so let's get started on the straps. Now we're going to do the straps. I've made one strap. This is what it looks like. And I made 18 rows. Okay, let's do this. So where you have marked it with your stitch marker is where you'll start. So just slip knot and pulled it through. And then we're going to chain 3, and this will count as a double crochet. One, 2, 3. Then we're going to go into the next stitch with a double crochet. And then into the next with a double crochet. And then we're going to chain 2. And then we're going to skip over to these other double crochets here and put a double crochet in each one. Sorry about this. This yarn does split. This is the first time I've tried this yarn. I really like it, but it does split. And it's a little awkward when you're filming, right? Okay, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, and then go into your next double crochets. Make a double crochet in each one of those. Okay, and then you're going to chain 3 and turn your work. Hi, little Minnie, you're back again, eh? She likes to be in on the action. All right, so you go on the next one with a double crochet. Go on the next one with a double crochet. Chain 2. Go in your next double crochet with a double crochet. Double crochet in the next one, and this is how you're going to continue doing your straps. Double crochet in the next. Chain 2. Excuse me there, Minnie. All right, then you do 1 double crochet in each of the next 3 double crochets. You know, I really don't like how this yarn splits. And then that chain 3 from the previous row, go into the top of that with a double crochet. And then chain 3 and continue on. Turn your work around, put a double crochet in each of the first 3 double crochets, chain 2, and then put your double crochets in, chain 2, double crochets, and just keep doing that. Leave a long tail at the end for sewing on the back of your top.